Good afternoon, old school Texas Tech. I have the godfather of old school Texas Tech with me, Jordan Kennedy, who's you've been dealing with some car issues this morning, right?
Fun times, man. Hey, nobody or everybody's favorite thing is the check engine light coming on. Nothing adds excitement to a day quite like that.
Right. Well, hopefully this game will put you back into better spirits.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah. This Pilsner beer I have here, which is kind of the silver medal beer in Ecuador. Club's the gold. Pilsner's pretty good too, though. So I picked one of those up at the grocery store. So anyway, let's get to it. Our usual formula. Worst case scenario today in about an hour and a half.
Well, I mean, judging by our performance these last few days, the worst case scenario is I see a 21-14 Houston type win. I mean, Houston us losing the game is obviously worst case scenario now.
Yeah,
I
that would be a
wouldn't even
disaster.
thought that would be possible before, but as of late, I'm changing my tune.
Yeah, I think losing's highly unlikely, but it is possible. I could see a scenario where Donovan Smith gets hot. We struggle in pass protection. There's some injuries involved. And my worst case scenario would be 28-14. Our defense is going to give us a chance to win this game, just like they've given us a chance to win every game so far this year. It will be an interesting chess match between two really good coaches, in my opinion, between Dana Holgerson and Tim DeRuyter. I think that will be an interesting chess match to watch. But we know Donovan Smith very well, so I think that scenario, while I do think it's the worst case scenario and it could happen, I do think it's fairly unlikely.
He's going to have extra motivation today. Let's be honest. He's had this one circled on his calendar for a very long time. So I'm almost a little bit concerned by a man that's motivated like that could be dangerous. So
He
let's not.
also he also has a tendency to throw picks. He's always had an affinity for pick sixes, also. So he could try too hard because let's be honest. No matter how bad this season's been, Tech is the more talented team today.
Sure.
Las Vegas certainly thinks so. I think most people football people do. I think there's also that some of that could work against him. I like the young man. I'm not going to like him in about an hour and a half, but as soon as the game's over, I'll like him again. Uh, anyway, best case scenario.
Best case scenario, I see Tech unloading and just beating these guys into the dirt, taking out all their frustrations on the 1-3 start. And I would say 35-14 would be, in my opinion, best case scenario. And then, like you said, Donovan Smith throwing a pick six or two, because you're right, he does have an affinity for throwing touchdowns to the other team, doesn't he?
He does, and I love him. And I love his performance at the Liberty Bowl against the late great Mike Leach in Mississippi State. I thought it was absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He was poised. I think he's a good player. I just think I think he's young and he's going up against a good defensive coordinator. And I want to apologize. I forgot to actually give you my score for worst case scenario, which is actually close to yours, and we never talk about any of this, is 28-14. Tell me again your score for best case scenario.
I think we beat them 35-14.
Your best case scenario, 35-14.
Yes.
Okay. So my best case scenario is 49-20. I do think Dana Holgerson is a good coach, and I do think he is going to put some significant points on the board. There could be a game, and I wish it was at night, but there could be a game where all the offense finally comes together. What's the quote? Greatness is the orphan of urgency. They're the offensive staff. No matter what they're saying, they're feeling the heat. So
Oh yeah.
at some point, this thing could come together, and it might be today. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but I think it is a possibility. So my best case scenario is 49-20. So you have any thoughts on that? You think I'm being crazy?
No, but I'd love to see it. It'd be nice to kind of piece it all together. Maybe see Taj Brooks used correctly. I think you're right though. Zach Kittley's feeling the heat, and so is Joey McGuire. They go if we start 1-4. I mean, I can't even imagine the panic that's going to be coming.
Yeah,
Fan,
I don't think McGuire. Go ahead.
fan base coaches all of it. If I just don't see us going 1-4, but it's
Right. I don't think Joey McGuire will be actually feeling any substantial heat for his job. I think he'll be upset. I think Kitley would be in big trouble. And I think that he would lose his offensive play calling abilities. I think he should lose his offensive play calling abilities if he can't put at least, in my opinion, 30 points on the board in this game because the defense is going to give us a chance to win. So what do you think is actually going to happen? So what is your prediction?
I'm going to say that Tech wins. I said my best case scenario 35-14. I'm going to pull that score down just a little bit. I think we're going to lead pretty much the entire game. It'll never be in doubt. I'm going to say 31-14. I think
All
that's
right.
what's happening.
We're close again. My likely scenario is 31-21.
Okay.
Same thing. Tech kind of controls the game. Maybe they get a touch. Maybe it's more like 31-14 right at the end, and Houston gets a touchdown that doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
I think that's
I think that this is going to be a game where the offense gets it together a little bit. So that's what I think we're pretty much on the same page on this one, I think. So there are a lot of rumors this morning. I had some stuff to do, but I was doing a little bit of research on this, and there are a lot of rumors about Baron Morton not being 100%. We also, let's face it, our pass protection has been terrible. I think the run blocking has been okay at times, but the pass protection has been terrible. So, in some scenario, God forbid we don't want this to happen. We want Baron Morton to be healthy. We want Tyler Shuck to come back and play again for Tech if that's at all possible. We want our players to be healthy, and we always wish for their well being. But if it worse, some sort of nightmare scenario happens, he's not able to complete this game, and the young man, the true freshman out of Justin, Texas, has to come in and play the majority of the game. Do we have any chance to win?
I mean, I think we do. I think at that point, Kitley's going to be forced to run the ball. I don't think he has any other choice but to make that his focus. And I've heard the same rumors. I've heard a little bit that Morton is kind of hobbling around and may not be 100%. And you're right. That's not, if he's hobbling, that's not good behind an O line that has struggled at pass blocking all year. So that could bring that score down. If I knew for a fact, hey, Jake Strong is going to play the whole second half, I'd probably take that 31 and knock it down to 20 to 24, if I'm being completely honest. But I think we can still win if he plays. We just have to go to the run a lot more. But then again, Houston will probably load the box up, which could then make them vulnerable over the top too in the passing game. I think we still win regardless of who's in there. It's just going to be closer than we want it to be. A lot.
I think if the young kid, the true freshman Jake Strong has to come in. Obviously, he was highly touted. I remember, I don't follow. I'm not, like a recruiting guru or anything, but kid seems to be a pretty good player. So yeah, I think they surely if Hope surely Kitley has a plan if Morton is a little beaten up. Surely we can run the ball and he can create some simple passes and try to create some momentum for Jake Strong, the young that's his name, right? Jake Strong. Yeah. Give him some easy openings. I think we still could win with him, and I think Taj Brooks. I believe that he is. I think we've all thought that he was a pretty special player for a long time. I think he may be even better than we even think. So I think if we got into a situation where we had to put the game it literally put the game in his hands, I could see him literally willing his way to a win today. I think he's that talented. I think he's that talented of a player. I'm starting to put him in like even a higher level of talent than I ever thought.
Okay.
What do you think about that? You
I think
think he's that good?
I think he's that good. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. All
Hopefully,
right.
we'll pay attention to that and realize that he's on the roster.
What's that?
Kitley will remember that he's on the roster.
He did get the ball 25 times last week, which is not bad, but he had 146 yards. So if we have a beat up quarterback or we're playing a young guy, and we're struggling in pass protection, I got an idea. I don't know. I'm not a brain surgeon or anything, but I got an idea. Why don't we just keep handing it to him until they prove that they can stop him? And then they have to go put 8 people in the box. Why don't we then let the young kid who obviously has some talent, somebody's going to be open. You can't double cover all these guys and put 8 guys in the box. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that doesn't work. The math doesn't add up. So, I think we can still win this game with him too. I 100% agree with you.
Totally agree, buddy. Quit sounding like a sensible adult, man. You got this, man. It's yeah.
All right, man. Go get yourself one of these or your
Oh yeah.
beverage of choice, and we'll get the game thread going. It's already going, and everybody enjoy. And Jordan, we will talk soon. Enjoy the game.
Sounds good, my friend. Talk to you later.